You always hear of people saying how easy it is to make a homemade soup. So, is it as easy as they say? Today, we're diving into the basic and simple ways to make a roasted red pepper soup from scratch. To kick things off, let's go ahead and turn the oven on. Depending on the specific model you have and the required cooking time, it's generally a good practice to preheat your oven always before putting something in it. Place the peppers on a baking sheet evenly spaced. I used 3 different colors, but you can use any combination. Remember when you open the oven door to back up to let the hot air rise. Also, remember to wear oven mitts so you don't burn your hands. Gently put the bell peppers on the middle rack, making sure they're evenly spaced, and then close the door. Then proceed to set your oven's timer to 40 minutes. Once the timer has gone off, again, open the door, but be mindful of the heat. Your house should smell pretty good right around now. Place the peppers on a cutting board and then carefully move them from the baking sheet into a bowl of your choice. Once they're all in the bowl, set them aside and grab some cling wrap and make sure to seal the bowl so no heat can get out. We want them to sweat for the next 30 minutes so that the skin is easier to peel off on the next step. During the 30 minutes of wait time that we have now, this would be a great opportunity to tidy up your kitchen and get ready for the next step. Once they're sweated, the peppers should come out looking flat. Remove the cling wrap and your nose should be immediately flooded with great aromas. Place the peppers on your cutting board. Be careful though, because the peppers will be soft and can easily fall apart. The next step includes removing the skin and then slicing up the peppers into strips. Make sure your cutting board is snug on the countertop to avoid slippage and cutting of your fingers. Don't worry too much about getting all the skin off, as you're going to be blending them together later on in the steps. Make your way to the stove and turn on the heat. Place your pot onto the stove and then splash some olive oil into it. Make sure to let it heat up. Next, take your half onion and get to chopping. This would be a great time to say if you own a pair of goggles to wear them. We all know about the onion tears. Get your cloves of garlic and then proceed to smash them with your knife. Doing this helps make it easier to peel them. From here, remove the skin and then get slicing up the garlic. Again, make sure your cutting board is secured onto your countertop. You want your garlic to be chopped into super fine small pieces. The smaller, the better. Make sure also to watch your fingers as well when cutting the small vegetables. Take a small piece of the onion and use it as your tester in the oil. Does it sizzle? If it does, then you're ready to put in the rest of the onion that you chopped and the garlic too. The smells that were filling my kitchen at this point were amazing. Make sure that you keep stirring the vegetables so that you don't end up burning them, as that would completely change the taste of the soup. And nobody would want that. Add in some salt and pepper to taste, and then it's back to stirring. Next, we would be adding 2 tablespoons of regular flour to help turn some of the juices into more of a sauce. Remember to keep stirring, otherwise it will burn. Also, make sure you have an enjoyable drink with you when you're cooking, because food and beverage go hand in hand together. Throw in 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, and it's best to do this over the pot to avoid spillage, and then it's back to stirring. At this point, the aroma in your kitchen should have changed to more of a sweet smell, at least mine did. Pour in 2 cups of vegetable stock. You can always use water in place if you don't have that lying around the house. And now, again, it's back to stirring the ingredients together. You'll want to let the pot this time come to a boil to let the vegetables break down a little bit more. Now comes the best part, adding in those beautiful charred and amazingly good smelling roasted bell peppers. At this point, you can start to see the soup coming together and taking shape. You'll want to stir, stir, and stir again until you can see that everything has broken down before taking the pot off the stove. But before we get to that step, there is one last step to do. Pour in 1.5 cups of almond milk, and then I promise you, this is the last time you will have to stir the pot. It's so worth it as you're almost there. Boy, was I excited to eat this roasted red pepper soup. Now we can finally take the pot off the stove and move it to the countertop. Be careful here, as the pot is hot and we have to pour it into the container to get ready to blend. Grab your blender, place it on the countertop, and put the container onto it. Put the lid on it, and let's get into it. Turn it on and watch the prize come to fruition. At this point, I could literally taste the soup in the air. That's how good my kitchen smelled. Clear the blender from the countertop, get that container in front of you, and grab a spoon. It's time to do the taste test. The soup tasted so good. The peppers came alive, and it was an explosion of taste in my mouth all at once. The last and final step was getting it into a bowl, telling my wife that dinner was ready, and then putting the final touches of basil leaves on it. Except that one. For an added touch, a drizzle of olive oil on top creates a little bit more texture and flavor on the palate. At this point, you're done. It's time to eat. And so there you have it. A roasted red pepper soup made from scratch.